How are we doing today, Crimson Tide fans, on a Wednesday, a couple of days after the college football playoff national championship? The LSU Tigers getting a 42-25 win over Clemson. But this is yours truly, Stephen Smith of Touchdown Alabama Magazine, host of In My Own Words, the podcast. Just jumping on here to give a instant reaction, providing some instant analysis on a couple of things. One of those things being the Associated Press, the AP poll, released in its final top 25 poll of the 2019 season. The Alabama Crimson Tide, who finished at 11-2 on the year, ranked at number 8. And despite all the craziness that happened, Nick Saban and the Crimson Tide entered 2019 with injuries to Dylan Moses and Joshua McMillan at inside linebacker. 3 games into the season, you lose LeBron Ray on the defensive line, of course having to play 8 to 9 true freshmen, including about 4 to 5 that started on defense with Shane Lee and Christian Harris in the middle of that defense at both inside linebacker positions. You had a bunch of crazy calls by officiating staffs that did not go the right way, just injuries within the season. Of course, Tua Tagovailoa sustaining a dislocated right hip against Mississippi State. So many things went wrong. So many things went, topsy-turvy. It was not what Alabama fans were used to, grew accustomed to, or expected. But at the end of the day, despite all that happened, to see Alabama finish with being in the top 10 at number 8 in the country, according to the AP poll, you'll take that because it will provide much-needed juice, much-needed energy, much-needed motivation for spring ball, summer workouts, fall camp, and most importantly, the 2020 college football season. Now, of course, a lot of you would look at where Alabama ranked number 8 and how Florida's ahead and Georgia's ahead, and both of those programs with 2 losses, just like Alabama, but their 2 losses come on the combined points of being more than Alabama. Alabama's 2 losses coming on a combined 8 points, 5 to LSU and just 3 to Auburn. But for a lot of you guys are ready to push the end button on the 2019 season, don't want nothing to do with that, and trying to push forward to spring ball of the offseason, getting prepared for the 2020 campaign. So despite all that happened in 2019, to finish number 8 in the country, according to the final Associated Press poll for the top 25, not too shabby, not too bad there. Crimson Tide gearing up for 2020. But the crazy news here of this instant reaction, the Louisiana State University Tigers, the Tigers of LSU. I mean, just a dream season for the program. You go undefeated, you capture a national championship, you defeat Alabama for the first time since the 2011 regular season, so dating back, 8 to 9 years. You win your first national championship since 2007 with Les Miles. That's dating back 12 years. People are hanging off light poles on Bourbon Street, getting drunk like never before. You're in a moment of pure ecstasy. LSU fans in a moment of pure ecstasy because finally you get to release some pent-up anger that you have carried within yourself for the longest of time. But in all of this, was it just for a 1-year free trial? Was it just for a 1-year, ordeal? Was it just to be a flash in the pan? And in the moment of the ecstasy, LSU, fans of LSU, wake up Tuesday morning and receive the biggest gut punch of all time. You wake up Tuesday morning after a night of ecstasy, drunkenness, excitement, fun, entertainment. You're finally on top of the world. LSU fans are going, bump Alabama, bump Clemson. We're the dynasty. We're the creme de la creme. We're the head honcho. The national championship, the gold standard is about to reside in Baton Rouge. This is our time, right? It's our time. And you wake up the next morning and you receive the biggest gut punch of all time. I mean, if you're an Alabama fan, some of your favorite national media analysts include Reese Davis. Some of you guys have really grown a liking to Shannon Sharp on the show Undisputed with he and Skip Bayless. Those are among the two of your favorite national media guys. But Tuesday morning, a new favorite has hit the table for Alabama fans. Adam Schefter, ESPN NFL insider Adam Schefter, becomes the next favorite national analyst for Crimson Tide fans as he dropped a bombshell on Twitter, citing sources on how Joe Brady, the offensive magician, the passing game wizard, the unique mind that came to LSU for one season after being with the New Orleans Saints, the 30-year-old came to make a archaic offense the best offense on the face of the planet for 1 year. Joe Brady, according to Adam Schefter, was reported to take the job offensive coordinator for the Carolina Panthers with newly head coach Matt Rule. David Tepper wanted to get his guy to be the head coach, and Matt Rule wanted to get his guy to be the offensive coordinator in Joe Brady. And all the LSU fans are going, no. Joe Brady's not leaving. No. We just gave him an extension. He's staying here. He's a Tiger for life. Go Creole. He's with us. Crab, lobster for life. Beignet for life. Like, we got Joe Brady. He's here. And lo and behold, did you not read the fine print beneath the fine print, LSU? I mean, there was a loophole in that contract, and the loophole was Joe Brady could talk to anybody in terms of college football if they were offering him a head coaching position, or he could talk to anybody in the NFL if they were offering him a position he could not pass down. And the NFL offered him an offensive coordinator position courtesy of the Carolina Panthers, and Joe Brady jumped ship. The biggest gut punch for LSU has happened. Biggest gut punch, because despite having Edo, having Steve Ensminger, even having Dave Aranda, which that's another name you need to keep an eye on because Dave Aranda could potentially be headed out as well. Now, nothing has been said about that, but even with Dave Aranda, the name that made you unique, LSU, was Joe Brady. That was the name that rescued you to a national championship and made you unique. And I know a lot of Tiger fans are going, well, we had Steve Ensminger last year. Now, we had Joe Burrow last year. But Steve Ensminger and Joe Burrow for 2018, those two together only helped you get 32.4 points per game. And you only had 4 games of which you scored, at least 40 points. With Joe Brady, you had an average of 48.4 points per game. That's a difference of 16 points per game. You scored a little bit over you averaged 2 more touchdowns a game with Joe Brady for 2019 than what you did with Steve Ensminger in 2018. Also, you had 12 games of where you scored 40 or more points, including 7 games of which you had 50 or more points. On top of that, with Joe Brady, against the Southeastern Conference, your average margin of victory was 27.4 points per game, so nearly 4 touchdowns was your margin of victory against the SEC. And on top of that with Joe Brady, you had a 5,000-yard passer in Joe Burrow, a 1,000-yard rusher in Clyde Edwards-Helaire, 2 1,000-yard receivers in Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson. You had a Biletnikoff Award winner in Jamar Chase, a Heisman winner in Joe Burrow, a Joe Moore Award winner in your offensive line. Joe Brady took home the Broyles Award for top assistant coach, and let's not forget Joe Brady propped up Ed Orgeron for him to get every single Coach of the Year honor. Joe Brady was unique. Joe Brady was the guy for you. Joe Brady took you to a national championship, and in the twinkling of an eye, folks, he is gone. Gut punch. Complete gut punch for LSU, and this would make the Tigers kind of a flash in the pan now. Kind of a flash in the pan. It's crazy. I mean, Alabama fans, if you woke up on Tuesday morning, you got dinner, a show, and dessert on the side. I mean, you didn't win the national championship. You didn't compete for a national title, and it sucks. That's difficult. That's hard. But if there was ever a such thing as a consolation prize that you could be proud of, I mean, this was it. This was it. I mean, this was it. LSU beats Clemson. It quiets down the Clemson dynasty hype train. And then, in the height of the ecstasy of LSU's victory, you wake up the next morning, Joe Brady's gone. I mean, they both lost something. Clemson lost the game, and LSU lost its greatest offensive mind. I mean, they both lost something. And on top of that, you lose Joe Brady. Joe Burrow's going to the draft. There's a good chance Justin Jefferson's gone to the draft. You could potentially also look at Clyde Edwards-Helaire at running back and Thaddeus Moss at tight end and believe they're going to the draft. So and I haven't even named the defensive guys yet. Those are just the offensive guys. So crazy, man. Absolutely crazy. Alabama, you finished number 8 in the top 25 for the AP poll. Not too shabby, preparing for the 2020 season. But the biggest news, LSU, what will become of it? Was it just a one-year trial? Will LSU become simply just a flash in the pan? Because now you have to look at who do you get to be the passing game coordinator if LSU goes out there and gets somebody, and whomever they get, will they be able to duplicate what Joe Brady did? And then on top of that, you look at what will become of it at quarterback, because no one knows what Miles Brennan is because you spent so much time working with Joe Burrow. Do you go out there and you get somebody from the graduate transfer portal? And if you get that, you got to get the right guy. It's just, man, it is a rough situation if you're an LSU Tiger fan. On the heels of a national championship, you wake up from you wake up to a nightmare. Crazy for LSU. But fans, let me know your comments, man. How do you feel about Alabama finishing up number 8 in the final AP poll? And was this merely a flash in the pan type of season for the LSU Tigers? Comment your thoughts on the bottom of the page right here. This has been yours truly, Stephen Smith of Touchdown Alabama Magazine, providing you with a little instant analysis.